it all starts with a spaghetti lid. Now, I have quite a few of these because as a prop maker, I save everything, but my family eats a lot of spaghetti. So today, we're going to have a Christmas ornament tutorial using these little guys. As you can see, it's kind of like a little dish. What you need to do is save them, wash them as best as you can. No, you are not going to get that stain out. Spaghetti stains permanently. So basically, gather up a couple of these, maybe up 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and let's make some Christmas ornaments now. And I'm going to show you how many I have.
I took them outside, I sprayed them down, and they look great. Now they're nice and dry. Let's take them inside.
So we are back in the lab right now. They came out perfectly, and there was a couple little spots that were not done right up. So I use an acrylic 999 and just touched them up. So here we are. So let's go on to the next step. So now that we got our caps all set up, I have chosen over here a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Raven. And this poem is in the public domain since it was written over 100 years ago. And what we want to do now is we want to put this typeface at the top part of our cap. So let's cut this out and measure it and put it in there. In doing so, the first thing we want to do is we want to put our cap down basically anywhere, and we want to measure out roughly the size of several of these caps. And we're going to cut them out, and don't be afraid to just rough them out because we're going to be doing quite a few of them. So I'm just using a number 2 pencil here. Alright, and let's cut out our circles. So what you can see is I just put that right in there and press that right in. I'm going to do another one here to show you what it's going to look like. You just take your piece and fit it kind of gently in there, okay, and using your fingers just press it right in. Look at that, so nice. Let's make another one over here. Look at this, make your own little Edgar Allan Poe factory. It just goes right in there so well. I'm just using regular photocopy paper A4, and I'm going to do that to 6 of these here. So let me do 6 and I'll show you what they're going to look like. And once we get our papers in there like this, if you wanted to just use these as coasters, I guess at a party to put the drinks on, you could do it like that. Hopefully you'll have an English teacher or someone who is into English literature that will come over and go, wow, those are really cool. But right now I'm going to be using a burnt umber. I'm using this 624 burnt umber acrylic. We're going to make a nice slurry and we're going to age these papers. Let's do that. Okay, and what I got here today is I got my burnt umber and a really soft watercolor brush, and we're going to be just going right into the burnt umber and we're going to make a slurry. And I'm using a styrofoam dish. I think bananas or apples or something came in, and I'm going to be just staining now this paper so nicely. Look at that. Aging that paper down. Okay. Staining that paper. That looks so good. A little bit more brown in there. Stain that up. We want that antique look. Yeah, like that. Let it wrinkle. Let it turn messy. That's what we want. All right. Look at that, nice wrinkles, lines, cracks, crevices. We got it all. Aging in session. We let these dry. Now comes the exciting part. We have chosen ravens for our raven themed Christmas ornaments because we used the Raven, the poem from Edgar Allan Poe. And look at that, dried. It came out so beautiful. Now, if you're wondering where you can get images like this, there are many different sites on the internet, but the one that I use the most is called Pixabay, and there's 1.8 million images that you can use for free. You can use them for commercial use, and you don't even have to put any type of attribution. They're very high quality images. You put the image here in Photoshop and you push to color, and they will come out like this. And I also use a little bit of stimpling, and I'm going to show you how beautiful this is going to look when we put up our images and our Christmas ornaments together for the first time. Look at that. Now here is our lineup. We got them all cut out very nicely. Okay, so what I'm using a very special pair of tweezers from the prop shop today. You can, it's kind of like one of those stamp collector type of tweezers, but I'm actually just applying with the glue stick very carefully some glue stick glue on there, and using these tweezers to position the bird pretty much where we want it to be. Right there would be good. Okay, I'm using the back of the tweezers to press that image down. You can see why a glue stick works very well, and you can see how well they come out. So let's finish up the last two. Came out so awesome looking. We have the ancient looking paper in the background, followed up by the modern silhouette in black and white, and they're all glued in there very nicely. So let's move on to the next step. I got myself a large sheet of overhead projector plastic. You can use any type of plastic you can get your hands on, and what I did was I had created circles that were the same size as the ornament that we were working on, and we're going to make a plastic lens to put over each ornament. Now what we need to do is we need to cut these out. Okay, so I just cut out one of the plastic lenses, and let's see what that's going to look like over our ornament. Yeah, look at that. Sealed in glass. Makes kind of a very unique ornament. Okay, so once you get all of your discs cut out, you can now start going into your ravens. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be putting them on snow. So I'm going to be using today a very fine, super fine, micro iridescent white glitter, and I'm also going to be using a iridescent black glitter. And if you're into goth, you're going to love this one. So we're going to be using the black around the perimeter after the glass goes on there, but we're going to be using the white under and around for each and every raven. So if we're going to be putting snow on the branch, we're going to be using glue, and then we're going to be using the white. So let's put the glue down where we think the glitter is going to stick to it to create the effect of snow and see the final product. Okay, now I can talk a little bit more about the project. What I had done was I had put the glitter down underneath the raven's feet to look like they're walking in snow. I detailed this print over here to make the snow more important, adding the snow to the branch. And I was using a glue stick here, and I had gone over the surface to put the sparkle in the sky and over the typeface, and the last one just enough detail on the stone or rock that the raven is on. So let's move on to the next step. Next step now is to glue our glass plates over each and every one of the birds. So I was using my white glue today, and there's 4 places on the spaghetti cap, so we can just put enough glue down there to seal it on. So let's do them right now. and finish the 6 and see what they look like. Once you get the shields down, you're going to see a reflection right there. Don't worry about the glue. It is white glue. It's going to dry crystal clear. So let's see what these look like tomorrow. And look at that. It's the next day and all the clear glue dried perfectly. Okay, so let's go on to the next step. Now comes the exciting part of our little raven Christmas ornaments. You are going to need some eyelets. These are eyelets that you can get at any hardware store. I got the mini ones. And your choice in bows, if you want to have a special bow put on there. I'm using these nice dark black Gothic ones that I have. Actually, I think these are made in Japan. And if you want something more happier, like the little dots, or you want something more countryer like that, but I think I'm going to be using these nice dark black ones here. And then you're going to need a pair of cutters to take off the top part of the eyelet, and you're going to need to warm up your magic glue gun, and don't forget to unplug them. I always write on here, unplug. So let's do this. Let's warm up our glue gun and let's start cutting off 6 of these eyelets. This first step is really easy. I got my glue gun warming up over here, and I am now taking out 6 eyelets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I also have a pair of safety glasses on. I am using the cutters here to cut off very carefully. There. An eyelet like this. Okay? So we want to do all 6 of those. Okay, now once you get your eyelets cut, I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to put a drop of hot glue at the very top of your ornament, and you're going to place the eyelet in there and hold it for a moment till that cools. And we're going to do that with all 6 of our ornaments. Okay, so I shared with you about the ribbons, I had shared with you about the glitter, and bringing back the white glue. Right now, we are going to make a glue ring around our ornament, and then we're going to sprinkle our black glitter on each of them. And then when that is done, we're going to choose a nice tiny bow, and we're going to put the tiny bow down at the bottom here. So let's do that. First thing is, I would use a glue with a very fine tip on it. This brand over here actually has a nice tip on it, and you really want to be careful because you just want to do the rim around your edge very, very carefully. I want a nice even flow, so we're sealing in the rim and the glass. Of our ornament. This came out really nice. And once you get that on, let's sprinkle that with a very generous amount of our obsidian here, this holographic black glitter. All goths love black glitter. I'm a very big fan of it. Okay, now Okay, we're going to let that dry. We are in the final stretch now. I would highly recommend using one of your absolute softest brushes to brush the excess micro glitter off of your project. That's number one. And number two, get your hot glue gun revved up and fire away a small dot of hot glue right on the edge, and using a pair of your best tweezers, I would assemble that on there. Now, using that, I'm just going to take this away. That's why we use all kinds of... This is a very sticky glue. Look at this. Things like this happen. There. Okay. Now, you can leave the top silver if you like. If you wanted, you could paint it black. Now your choice comes down to choosing what type of ribbon you want to use. I can use a nice blood red one, or you can use this Gothic black, but let's see what that's going to look like with the red. Very Christmassy. Or, for a more somber look, using the black. It's your choice. Check out our final design. I had thought very carefully about the red or the black ribbon, and the black ribbon won for our Edgar Allan Poe Raven theme. Merry Gothmas.